Good day, guys. Welcome back to another episode. So I've been having some problems with my FASS Titanium Series 150 lift pump on my pickup. It started to develop kind of a howling noise, like a bearing noise. I noticed that started happening, and then once that started happening, it started leaking out of the weep hole. I was not aware that there was a weep hole on these. I contacted FASS. So basically this video is going to show the problem that I was having. I do not know the exact problem or the cause, but I have contacted them, and I just want to show basically what we are replacing, things to look for, and any kind of problems like that you may be having. So like I mentioned, mine had a howling noise, and then it developed into a grinding, kind of like a Morse code tapping, knocking noise. It got very loud, and then it started leaking diesel fuel. I noticed a puddle underneath of it when I parked it, and then from there is where I contacted FASS. They let me know that there is a weep hole to look at that to see if it is leaking out of it. I looked at it. It is. I will show you guys the weep hole on the pump where it is located. It is leaking out of it, and they say that sometimes it can be a bearing failure or some kind of a failure. My motor is not seized up, and it did not seize up, but something went wrong in there, and now it is leaking fuel out of it. So that is why it is extremely important to go ahead and fill out your warranty information within that first 30 days for when you purchased your FASS fuel system, because it has a lifetime warranty. So there's two different options as of the filming of this video. You can do a core, which they will send you one that is rebuilt. You put it on, you send yours in as a core, they charge you a core fee. You put it on, takes care of the problem, core fee comes off, lifetime guarantee as long as it tests out and there's nothing else wrong with it. On their website, you can go into their warranty and read through it. There is some stipulations where if something tests good, they'll charge you a bench fee, so on and so forth. But with this, it's definitely a problem, and you will know if you are having a problem. The other option is an RMA. So basically get an RMA going, you take your part off, you send it in, they bench test it, repair it if needed, and if they find anything else wrong with it, they send it back to you, and then you put it back on. So those are the two different options, but I went ahead and went with the core option, so I have the motor and the T-block, and that is what we're going to be replacing today on my FASS. They no longer make the 150 series. They are now doing the 165 is what has replaced the 150. So luckily for me, that is a free upgrade. So now I will have the 165 because it is just the motor and the T-block that is going to be different. It's not your filter base or your filters. So now I am getting a 165 upgrade. So I guess it kind of worked out pretty cool. Pickup still does run. I did unplug the FASS lift pump to basically drive it to the shop so I can go ahead and make this repair, make this change on it, just because I didn't want it leaking diesel out the weep hole. I will show you a few things. This is for, like I said, this is the Titanium 150 series that I have on here, so this will be a replacement of the T-block and motor on this, what you need to do, how to get to it, how to change it, all that great stuff coming up, so stay tuned. So right here is the box that it came in, so nice packing. There is the packing slip. In here is going to be O-rings, the little check ball, and then the instructions for how to change it. And then down in the box here is basically the T-block and the motor. And like I said, this is the 165 motor and T-block. So that is in the package, and then there is not anything else within the package. In here with the instructions and then also the provided O-rings. Pretty nice that they include all of that. We'll get the instructions out. So then on the instructions, you have the heavy duty Titanium series or the Signature series. This is how to replace it on there. So just nice, easy, simple. And then on the back of it is the Titanium series and Signature series, which is the one that I have. You'll be removing a filter. In this picture here, you can see there is 4 screws. I will show that also, but you'll be removing those screws as well, and that's what will pull the T-block off, and then it's showing the placement of the check balls and the O-ring. And then the next page on it is the warranty RMA policy. This is what I was saying you can go on their website and check out. This is all the stipulations with all of it and whatever you need to do. There is the time that they are open. So I think this is going to be a very simple, easy thing to do, replacing this T-block and the motor. It all comes as one unit. Very cool, very nice. Underneath here you can see basically the grooves for the O-rings. Once I get this out of the package, I will show you. It'll be very easy. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug the pump that is on my pickup now, which it already is, as I mentioned, because I unplugged it when I drove it here. So you're going to unplug the pump. And then you're going to remove your fuel water separator, which is the one towards the rear. I will show that on the pump as well. Once you remove that filter, it will expose these 4 bolts that hold this T-block on. We'll get that one taken off, the new one dropped on and tightened up. So I went ahead and grabbed the filter wrench. Also got a drain pan. As I was mentioning on the back right here, it's going to be this rear filter. It's your fuel water separator. You're going to remove that. It is directly below the T-block. The T-block mounts to the top of the housing. Motor faces forward. So you need to remove that filter to expose those bolts. So I'm going to go ahead, get that filter removed off, show you the bolts up there, tell you what size they are to remove them. We'll get that old motor off, the new one on, and then I'll also tell you the torque specs for torquing the new one on. So looking up underneath, you can see that the filter water separator is now removed. The 4 Allen bolts are right in the corners. So you're going to want to remove those 4. So you can see there is the 4 bolts right here. I went ahead and removed one to see what size it is. I have the motor unplugged. You can remove those 4 bolts. And then up at the very top, right up there, is a bolt on the bracket that the motor is bolted to. So you got to remove that bolt off of the bracket. These 4 Allens out of the filter base here to go ahead and remove that motor. I'm just using a ratchet with an Allen socket. It's a bit longer. You're going to need a 3/16 Allen to go ahead and get those 4 bolts out. I'm going to go ahead and remove those. Also remove that top bolt on the motor up there. It's going to be kind of hard to film this because it's up under the bed here. You really can't see it. But I'm going to go ahead and remove those 4 and that top one and then get this motor out of here. So here is the old T-block and motor. Right there is that weep hole. And as you can see, it has been leaking out of it. It is definitely wet. And then dirt and stuff, junk has been collected. That is not how this motor goes in there. I just have it turned over so you can see it. But it actually sits in just like that. But I just wanted to show the weep hole. So you can see since I just turned it over there, now it is wet around that weep hole because it was just leaking diesel fuel out of it. But that is that weep hole that you want to look at, where mine has now had the failure somewhere inside the motor T-block, somewhere in there, and now it is doing, as it's designed to do, leak out the weep hole. So this I will just have to package up, send back in. Over here I have the new motor ready to go in. I'll show you the O-rings, putting the O-rings on, the check ball, all of that good stuff once I get this area cleaned up a little bit and get this nasty thing off of here. So right here you can see I went ahead and installed the 2 O-rings. There is 2 extras right here from FASS. Those aren't going to go anywhere. I guess they are sending you spares in case you roll one or pinch one, which is super cool. The check ball will also be in that baggie with these O-rings as well. I will show you where that goes. But I just put a little bit of grease on here. Actually, it's a petroleum jelly. 4 O-rings. I put that on to help hold these in place so they will not fall off when I turn the pump over to bolt it up. Well, now we'll head over to the filter base housing and I'll show you where the check ball goes. So looking in here at the fuel filter housing, you can see the little check ball right there. It fits right in the hole. It sits in there. There is a little hole in front of it. I'll try to finagle my camera in here to get a better angle for you to see it from the top, but that is where it is going to go. There is also a small hole to the right. So now that I have the check ball in place, the O-rings on the T-block, I'm going to go ahead and put the new motor back in place here. Start those 4 bolts up from the bottom. They're going to torque at 100 inch-pounds in a cross pattern, so side to side, just in a cross pattern on there. So I'm going to go ahead and set that on, get it torqued down. Once again, it's really hard to get the camera set up so you can actually see. I would like to do that, but you really don't need to see torquing bolts, putting bolts in. That gets kind of repetitive and boring. So I'm going to go ahead, move on to that, get that put on, and then we will plug it in, also put the fuel filter on. But before we put the fuel filter on, FASS says to spray some lubricant up into the nipple and check for suction. I will do that as well. And then once I have done that, I will go ahead and put the fuel filter on, make sure everything is tightened up, and then we will check the pump for operation. All right, as you can see there, the T-block is on, the upper bolt, the lower filter is on as well. I went ahead, got it plugged in. I did spray some lubricant up into the nipple. It was creating suction. So now it is time to turn the key on to make sure we don't have any leaks coming out from any of the filters or on the base. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the key on. We'll see what the noise is like with this and then also check for leaks. So we don't have any leaks right now As you can hear, it is very quiet. Looking up in through the wheel well. So it is leak-free, extremely quiet. And now I went from a 150 to the 165, just because my 150 I had the problems with. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up and then also keep an eye on it. Alright, so that is how you change out the motor in the T-block on the FASS Titanium series. Like I mentioned, it was a 150, it's now a 165, so it's pretty cool that they just upgrade you and don't charge you anything for that. So super stoked about that. Very easy. The 4 bolts, 110 inch-pounds, and you just do a cross pattern on them to torque them down. You remove that filter to get to them. You have the one mount up top onto the bracket. It's very simple, very easy to do, as you saw here. Super awesome though that it's all warranted through FASS, and that's what I want to show in this video, is that I cannot stress that enough, that it is very important to fill out your warranty for the 30 days after your purchase, no longer than that, because they will stand behind it. Customer service and support has been great through FASS. I cannot ask any more out of them. It's been absolutely awesome. So I'm glad they've taken care of me. Hopefully this video is helpful for you guys. You enjoyed it. If you did, remember to smash that thumbs up. Also remember, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please remember to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, turn on all post notifications so you don't miss a future upload, and I will catch you all in the next one, and until then, take care.
Shaka on the beats, 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 Shaka on the beats.